Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
There are
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
questions here,
wabarakatuh.
but then we have 8:39 already. And let's say Happy Eid Mubarak everyone. Minal aizin wal faidin, taqabbalallahu minna wa minkum. Okay, and after the midterm task, let's start the recent activity in morphology, morphosyntax, And as I said before, the half semester of this course has been used to discuss the morphology terms, and after the midterm test, we will discuss about syntax, okay, which is another branch of linguistic in sentence structure. Okay. And I hope everyone here still remember, the essence of syntax, when you need to know the part of speech in English first. Okay. So do you still remember how many part of speech in English? How many part of speech? 8 part of speech. Okay. What are they, Rafidin? Noun.
Noun, pronoun, verb.
Noun. Okay.
Adjective, interjection.
Interjection. And then other.
Aduh.
Conjunction, Miss.
Okay, Sheila.
Conjunction.
Conjunction, Aldi, yes. What else?
Preposition, Miss.
Preposition, and it's already 8. Yes, good. So that knowledge will be the basic foundation for syntax analysis, in which you analyze the sentence structure, starting from the simple constituent, which is called as phrase, okay, because phrase here may consist of more than one word, so it is still related to morphology. That's why we learn about compound word and derivational process in morphology before in the half semester of this course. Okay, now let's start today's discussion by exploring the phrase. Okay, so I'm going to share the slide. Here we go. Yeah. Can you see the slide?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so it is about phrase structure rules, which will be the modification of tree diagram. Okay, perhaps you still remember how to analyze the tree diagram in syntax in Introduction to Linguistic in ELT in your semester, the last semester. And also we learn about constituents, which covers the meaningful compound of word. And also we see the recursion, in which the word is modified into several constituent, and also the tree, which will be formed because of conjunction. There are several types of sentences in English, which cover simple sentence and complex sentence. And we'll see that the complex sentence, which will be built by having conjunction. Okay, let's discuss about phrase structure first. Full screen. Okay, so let's talk about the meaning of phrase structure. You know that every word belongs to a lexical category, right? Yes, you mentioned before that there are 8 types of part of speech, 8 part of speech in English. So a lexical category, yes, is identified as noun, verb, adverb, adjective that we mentioned before, which is also called as part of speech, or in morphology term, it is called a lexical category. Okay, because it is listed in the dictionary, so you can find the word in the dictionary, and it is called a lexical. Okay, because dictionary also has another term which is the lexicological term. Okay. And the lexical categories form heads of phrases. So you know that every word cannot be a head. Okay, for example, the determiner the or of, okay, or in or at, of course it is listed, there they are listed in the dictionary, but some words cannot be the head of phrases. So what does head mean? Okay, head means the essence or the soul of the phrase. Okay, so when you see the word the students, for example, okay, what does it means in bahasa Indonesia? The students meaning is murid. Okay, but we cannot translate the word the, okay, which become the determiner in that part of phrase, because the is only the determiner which become the supplementary term in the word student, which become the head. Yes, that's why we can determine the head if it is translated into another language as the soul or the essence of the word. Okay, and then how phrases are formed is governed by rules. Okay, you know, in English, if the word, the noun, okay, the constituent noun is modified into several long and complex explanation in the very beginning. So the adjective must be put before the head. Okay. For example, the word the students. Okay. The student have head in the word students. And when I add the word elementary, okay, it is the student of elementary, so we should put the word elementary before the word students or before the head, and that phrase become the elementary students, right? Okay, what about we add more explanation to the word, to the phrase? Okay, is it possible? Possible. For example, we put the gender. I can say female, for example, the female elementary students. Okay, so it become more complex, and it is called as modifier of the word students. And the head is still student, because when we translate the phrase into bahasa Indonesia, the translation is still murid. Okay, murid-murid atau siswa-siswa. But we have another explanation or modifier or modification which explain the essence of the word student. For example, the female elementary student can be translated into bahasa Indonesia become murid-murid sekolah dasar, murid-murid perempuan sekolah dasar, gitu kan ya. Okay, can you get what I mean? So am I speaking too fast? Okay, go ahead. Next, the phrase structure rules. Okay, rules that determine the phrase. It can be what goes into a phrase or constituent and how the constituents are ordered. Okay, as I said before, that the phrase can be modified. Can be modified by the adjective or the adverb or the which we call the pre-modifier when it comes before the head. Okay, but also there are several phrases which is modified by the word after the head. For example, when we put the phrase, when we put the preposition. For example, yes, we can use the previous example. The female elementary students, okay, the female elementary students, I add the preposition with. Okay, the female elementary student with What was that? With excellent achievement. Okay, for example, with excellent achievement. Okay, for example, the previous race that I mentioned, the female elementary student with high achievement. Yes, this is the example. That's why I need to highlight this. Okay, by using yellow color. Okay, this is the example. Yes, the head is still students, because what becomes the soul or the essence of the translation of this phrase is still students or murid-murid, siswa-siswa. What comes before the head and after the head are called the modifier. Okay, before the head it is called pre-modifier. D is determiner, female is adjective, elementary is noun. Okay, and what comes after the head, it is called post modifier. Okay, with is preposition, high is adjective, achievement is noun. Still, the head is the word students. Okay, where should I put the explanation? Here might be possible. Pre-modifier and is post modifier. Okay. I should change the color so it means it does not belong to the phrase. What color? Red. Yes, red might be visible. Okay. So let's make it bigger. Yeah. Remember that constituent means a word or a group of words that function as a unit and can make up larger grammatical unit. Okay, for example, in the function of sentence, we have spoka, which is called S as subject, P as predicator, O as object, C as complement, and A as adverbial. Still remember that? I need to rewrite it in the slide perhaps. Wait. Okay. The function of constituent can be found, yes, in this kind of formula. Still remember SPOKA. S stands for subject, P for predicator, O for object, and C as complement, and A as the last is adverbial. Yeah. Make it space. Okay. Subject is the actor or the doer or someone or something who do, okay, or who act or who said, who utter, who command, yeah, who do something, yeah, regarding the predicator that we have in the sentence. And predicator, yes, some people also consider it as verb, okay, but not all predicator are verb, because we also can find some auxiliary do or auxiliary to be. Yes, it can be also predicator, and the object is something which is affected by the subject. Okay. Complement, when we have adjectival sentence, for example the adjective, okay, or pelengkap in bahasa Indonesia, and adverbial, which become the explanation of adverb of time, adverb of place, and adverb of manner. Okay, that's become the constituent which will form is, okay, when you find, yeah, perhaps a long phrase, but as long as it does not have any predicator, so it is still called as noun constituent, not predicator or not sentence. As we see before, when we found the example of the female elementary students with high achievement, okay, it comprises 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 word, yeah, 7 morpheme, but as long as it does not consist of predicator, so it is still called as noun constituent, yeah. Or it can be, or when we refer to sentence function, it can be a subject perhaps or object. Okay. Any question? Do you have question? Yeah. If you are still curious or still confused, feel free to ask, or feel free to interrupt if my explanation is too fast. No? Okay, just go ahead. I'm sorry because there is an electricity blackout problem here, so perhaps the Google Meet, yes, process is not stable. That's why I'm so sorry if there is something trouble with the connection. Okay. Di sini ada yang mati lampu di daerahnya karena hujan semalaman. Kalau di saya mati lampu, jadi maaf kalau koneksinya gitu ya tidak stabil atau kurang stabil. Okay, but I do appreciate, yes, your presence here. Okay, next. Remember that the general schema of the constituent is X becomes Y and Z. Okay, X consists of Y followed by Z. For example, the sentence can consist of noun phrase and verb phrase. Okay, let's see the explanation. The noun phrase, for example, the word John, but it is the simple noun phrase because we don't have any modifier, no pre-modifier or no post-modifier. What about the word boy? The boy, yes, boy is the head and the is the pre-modifier because we have determiner here. Determiner plus noun, okay, become noun phrase. Okay, next, a little boy. Yeah, it a little complex. Okay, a is determiner, little is adjective, boy is noun. But still, it is noun phrase because the head is noun. So, phrase, the meaning of phrase is the compound of word, okay, but still have the same constituent. Okay. Next, a boy in a bubble. Okay, we have pre-modifier, a, and post-modifier. A as determiner, boy as noun, in as a preposition, a as determiner, and bubble as a noun. But when we start having preposition in, starting from in until the end, it is called prepositional phrase. But still the head is noun. So a boy in a bubble as a whole, it is called as a noun phrase. Okay. Upper the prepositional phrase, we have noun phrase. If it is described or drawn into the tree diagram. Okay. So the phrase structure rule for noun phrases can be noun phrase which consists determiner as the premodifier, an adjective also as premodifier, and the head is noun. It is followed by prepositional phrase, where the bracket indicates optionally. Yes, where it is allowed whether we can have determiner or no, adjective or no, and prepositional phrase or no. Just what we have on the word John. John, this word does not have any modifier, but it is still called noun phrase. Okay, nice. Yeah, you have already seen that this kind of tree diagram. Perhaps you still remember what we have learned in introduction in linguistic in the LT. Sorry. Yes, John here. Let's analyze the constituent one by one. Okay, this border, yeah, remark the constituent. Okay, yes, John is noun phrase. Yes, in the upper branch of the tree diagram, it is noun phrase, but you need to put also the part of speech noun in the middle, because it becomes the detailed explanation of how the noun phrase is built. Okay, so it can explain that this word doesn't have any modifier. Okay, let's see another one. The word the boy. Okay, it has pre-modifier which is the, and it is classified as determiner. Yes, and boy category is noun, and the upper part of this phrase, it is called noun phrase because the head is noun. Okay, not too different from the previous explanation. We need just to add the adjective categories in the word little. Okay, is determiner, little is adjective, boy is noun, and it become noun phrase. Okay, the upper part of this phrase. Okay, what about the last phrase, a boy in a bubble? So this can be the drawing of the tree diagram of the phrase. A is determiner, boy is noun. Okay, but after the word a boy, we have post modifier, which is started by the word in. That's why it must have another branch of prepositional phrase here. In is preposition, a bubble is noun phrase, which consists of determiner a and noun bubble. Okay. Any question? No? Okay, let's go to the next slide. Yeah, this is the explanation of prepositional phrase. In is preposition, and when you see the word from a boy in a bubble, okay, from also preposition, a boy is determiner and noun, so it has noun phrase. Okay, from a boy in a bubble. Yes, this is the explanation of prepositional phrase that we have. The word in, yes, belongs to preposition category. That's why the phrase structure rules for prepositional phrases is preposition which consists of noun phrase. Yes, because a bubble is noun phrase, but it is started with prepositional in. That's why we have prepositional phrase. Yeah, that's the drawing of the tree diagram of from a boy in a bubble. From is preposition. We have another noun phrase here, as determiner, boy as a noun, and another prepositional phrase. So prepositional phrase which consists of another prepositional phrase. The drawing can be like this. Okay, someone type in the chat column. Please wait. I'm going to exit from the slide with you. Okay, it's loading. Please wait. Oh, something problem with my laptop. I cannot escape from the slide. Please wait. Should I click stop sharing? And show. Okay. Wait. I need to go back from the slide into the. Oh, PPT-nya belum jalan. Dari slide mana berarti Stop di mana terus?
Baru aja, Bu.
Oh, baru aja nggak jalan. Tapi yang gambar prepositional phrase mah kelihatan. Pantesan ada macet. Oh, jadi nggak usah saya full screen aja kali ya. Jadi biar saya bisa mantau Google Meet, lalu mantau juga PPT. Rada-rada ini juga ya. Kalau saya sudah full screen di PPT itu, untuk keluarnya lagi nggak bisa ngecek Google Meet. Jadi nggak akan ketahuan kalian lagi apa sama saya gitu kan. Ya walaupun sekarang di hide videonya ya. It's okay. Habis lebaran mungkin masih banyak ini ya. Rasa-rasa yang tertinggal dari Ramadan itu. Oke. Jadi pagi-pagi itu apalagi setelah hujan malamnya bawaannya ngantuk gitu ya. Oke, but that's no problem for us. Harus semangat. Oke, karena ini sinteks materi baru setelah morfologi. Jadi you find something new here. So you must be curious. Sekali lagi saya share slide-nya. Bismillah. Sudah terlihat slide-nya?
Sudah, Bu.
Okay. Okay, let's continue our discussion on phrase structure trees. Yes, remember that every phrases will may consist of more than one word or one morpheme. Okay, but it's not impossible also for the phrase only consists of one word, just like we have in this kind of tree. Okay, the word in, okay, is classified as preposition, and the upper part it is called prepositional phrase. Let's see another complex form of prepositional phrase. The word from a boy in a bubble can be drawn in this kind of tree diagram. Okay, from is preposition, and also the upper part must be prepositional phrase because it is started by the word from, okay, which belongs to preposition, and it is followed by a boy in a bubble. You know, a boy is noun. Okay, so we have noun phrase in the upper part of the trees, and a is classified as determiner. Boy is noun phrase. Next, we have another prepositional phrase because we have another preposition. Okay, the word in belongs to preposition. So in is drawn as preposition categories here, and it is followed by a bubble as the last noun phrase. Okay, which is built by the word determiner a and noun, and the word bubble as noun. Okay. Next, after the phrase that we have discussed here, okay, you may find the recursion. The recursion is the property of language that allows for the embedding of categories. Okay, which I mentioned below as the post modifier. Okay, because the phrasal categories may appear to the left or right of the arrow. Okay, the left I mean as the pre-modifier, and the right is post modifier. For example, kalau tidak di full screen kelihatan tidak? Triknya? Karena kalau saya full screen takut macet lagi. Kelihatan ya?
Kelihatan.
Oke. Lanjut aja ya. Okay, this is the example of recursion which has long post modifier. The word the cat on the mat, in the house, on the street. So let's determine which one is the head. Headnya mana dari frase ini? Headnya kata apa? Ayo, who knows? Siapa yang tahu? Apa, Rofidin?
Cat, Miss.
Cat ya. Sepanjang apapun penjelasan tambahannya, tetap kepalanya mah ini menjelaskan tentang kucing. Ya, good. Thank you, Rofidin. Let's see the explanation. Ini kalau diterjemahkan ke bahasa Indonesia artinya apa? Kucing yang ada di karpet di rumah, in the house on the street. The cat on the mat in the house on the street. Ntar dulu, saya juga agak bingung. Di rumah tapi di jalan maksudnya. Rumah yang di sepanjang jalan ini maksudnya ya. Oke. Jadi ada rumah pinggir jalan, gitu ya. Di rumahnya itu ada karpet, lalu si kucing itu duduk di karpet atau ini teh kayak matras mungkin atau semacam kayak keset gitu ya. Kalau di kita mah, the cat on the mat in the house on the street. Rumah yang ada di pinggir jalan. Oke. Tetap tapi headnya mah ini tentang apa? Ngomongin tentang cat. Yes. It has a lot of post modifier which is started by prepositional phrase on the mat, first prepositional phrase, and in the house, second prepositional phrase, and on the street, third prepositional phrase. This might be the complex noun phrase that you might find on the upcoming final test. Nanti di UAS contohnya akan kurang lebih seperti ini ya. So please draw the tree diagram for this kind of noun phrase. Oke, yang ada recursion-nya. Contohnya seperti ini. Jadi tetap headnya mah cat. Jadi kita punya noun phrase. Karena ini headnya adalah noun, jadi atasnya pasti noun phrase. And it is followed by prepositional phrase. On is preposition. The mat is another noun phrase. And also it is followed by another prepositional phrase which is followed by the began by the word in, and the determiner house is noun, and the last prepositional phrase which is on the street. On is preposition, the is determiner, street is noun, and it is the last noun phrase. Okay, can you get what I mean? Sok boleh diserap dulu gambarnya. Gambar tree diagramnya. Kalau masih bingung silahkan ditanyakan sekarang, mumpung masih ada sesi face to face. Gampang ya, tapi yang bikin puyeng itu karena itu kelihatannya karena kompleksnya saja gitu ya, padahal mah ada gampang. Karena itu adalah repetition, pengulangan prepositional phrase. Bentuknya mah sama, hanya saja katanya yang berbeda, frasenya kompleks. Oke, gampang ya. Semua bisa insya Allah UASnya A deh ya. Oke, itu prepositional phrase. Boleh ada yang mau bertanya silakan.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, please.
So what does the recursion means?
Recursion mean it's quite same as post modifier, okay?
Oh.
Atau modifikasi di sebelah kanan ya. Tetap tapi headnya mah cat saja. Intinya itu post modifier tapi lebih panjang karena terdiri dari banyak prepositional phrase. Itu kurang lebih ya.
Oke, Miss, thank you.
Miss, aku mau tanya.
Iya, oke. Ini suara saya lihat dulu ke ini.
Aku mau
Aldi,
tanya,
ya?
Miss. Ya.
Boleh silakan.
Ini yang mau kalau misalkan mau nganalisis head-nya itu berarti lihatnya dari subjek utamanya.
Ya, tapi bukan subjek namanya ya. Kalau ini kan belum tahu kita ini adalah subjek atau bukan, karena belum ada predikator. Bisa aja ini objek ya.
Iya, oke. Makasih, Miss.
Nah, jadi tahu ruh tadi atau dasar atau fondasi dari frase tersebut gitu, yang bisa menentukan head. Tapi bahasa Inggris biasanya itu ada kecenderungannya adalah right-headed. Jadi head itu pasti di paling ujung, di paling akhir. Kalau tidak ada preposition ma. Seperti tadi, misalkan ada kata woman. Woman itu noun. Oke, kita modifikasi jadi rich woman. Oke, which one is the head? Headnya masih woman kan? Karena
Iya.
itu menjelaskan wanita kaya. Tambah lagi boleh, young rich woman. Mau ditambahin sebanyak apapun kata sebelum woman, itu artinya akan tetap woman yang menjadi kepalanya. Ketika diterjemahkan ke bahasa Indonesia pun, pasti diawali oleh kata wanita. Wanita muda kaya. Wanita, mungkin kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia ditambahin yang. Wanita yang muda dan kaya, bisa jadi terjemahannya bebas seperti itu ya, bisa saja. Walaupun dalam bahasa Inggrisnya tidak ada kata and dan which-nya. Intinya yang menjadi ruhnya, jiwa dari kumpulan frase itu adalah head. Oke, paham ya?
Yeah, thank you, Miss.
Oke, you are welcome. Cuman, ini it can be a tricky analysis for you because some phrases are confusing. When you find the preposition, so you might see that we have left-headed, okay, noun. But when you see there are so many modifier before the head, okay, before the noun, so it might be the right-headed noun. Jadi kalau ada preposisi setelah kata benda, itu biasanya modifiernya itu di akhir. Jadi ini di bagian kiri headnya, left-headed disebutnya, left-headed. Nah, tapi kalau modifiernya banyaknya terjadi sebelum kata benda, itu right-headed atau headnya itu pasti berada di paling ujung kanan dari frase kata itu. Sering-sering latihan sehingga akan Anda terbiasa untuk mengetahui di mana ini headnya. Konstituen ini masuknya ke apa nih? Frase kata benda atau kata kerja. Oke. So the only suggestion from me is to read a lot. Okay, read and read. Baca terus sehingga akan terasah gitu ya, radar kesensitifan kita untuk menganalisisnya, radar sintaksnya, saya sebutnya. Itu ya. Oke, gampang lah insya Allah kalau terus berlatih mah, dan pasti bisa. Ini tidak terlalu sulit, bisa. Lanjut ya. Oke, tersisa lagi berapa slide ini? Ada 10 slide, sudah ke slide 12. Let's talk about preposition, verb phrase. Oke, tidak berbeda jauh dengan non phrase tadi. Kalau verb phrase ya pasti ruhnya atau jiwanya, kepalanya itu pasti verb atau kata kerja. Verb phrase itu seperti non phrase juga, boleh terdiri dari hanya satu kata verb saja, boleh juga kompleks verb phrase yang ada modifiernya. Oke, modifiernya bisa pre, bisa post, karena ada adverbial atau adverb yang terjadi sebelum kata kerja. Misalkan degree seperti very, kemudian ada lagi well misalkan. Nah, itu juga bisa menjadi modifier untuk verb. Nah, kita lihat contoh yang ada di sini. Sang, the word sang is the simple verb. It can be also the verb phrase. Ate the cake. Nah, apapun yang muncul setelah verb, pasti itu disebutnya verb phrase. Jadi, ketika ada frase noun phrase the cake ini yang muncul, tetap di dalam tree diagramnya mah, ini tuh ada di bawah konstituen verb phrase. Karena ini dikenai perbuatan dari verb. Jadi nanti gambarnya itu ada di bawah verb phrase. Masih ingat kalau yang sudah kita bahas di Introduction to Linguistic itu, Linguistic in ELT itu, nah ketika sentence itu di atasnya, di bawahnya itu hanya ada non phrase dan verb phrase. Nah nanti di bawah verb phrase ada terdiri dari verb atau non phrase lainnya ketika ada tambahan. Karena sentence itu atau klausa itu terdiri dari subjek dan predikator saja sudah cukup. Itu menjadi sentence. Okay. Next, ate the cake hungrily. Ate is verb. Ate the cake is non-phrase and hungrily is adverb. Sang a song in the shower. Still, the head is verb. So, this phrase belongs to verb phrase. Sang is verb. A song is non-phrase. In the shower is prepositional phrase. Last, fell into the pond slowly. Fell is verb. Into the pond is prepositional phrase. And slowly is adverb. Okay, let's see the tree diagram for those phrases, those verb phrases. Okay. You can have this simple prepositional phrase which only consists of the word sang as the verb and the upper part is prepositional verb phrase. Okay. Next sentence, ate the cake. Okay. Ate is verb and the cake is the non-phrase but it belongs to the prepositional phrase. That's why the position of non-phrase is below the prepositional phrase. Determiner is the and the noun is cake. Okay, last. Sang a song in the shower badly. Tadi mah bukan badly perasaan. Slowly. Oh bolehlah contohnya berbeda. Sang is verb, is determiner, song is noun, and it becomes the noun phrase because a song is a different constituent, but it belongs to verb phrase. Okay. Next, it is followed by prepositional phrase. In the shower. Okay, in is preposition, the is noun phrase, shower is noun, and it is part of noun phrase. And adverbial, adverb, the word badly belongs to adverb because it modified from the word sang. So we put it in the end of the branches of the last branch of verb phrase. Because why? Because the word adverb here, okay, can also affect to the verb sang. Okay, not only to the shower, to the word, the prepositional phrase before the word badly, but also to the word sang. Okay, because this kind of adverb can also be put, okay, before the word sang. Badly sang a song in the shower. Okay, also possible for us to put the adverb before or after the verb. That's about verb phrase. And in this kind of verb phrase, there are so many situations when the sentence structure become ambiguous. Okay, let's see the structural ambiguity in this sentence. For example, the verb discuss lie with Dr. Ruth or discuss lie with Dr. Ruth. Which one does the writer mean? Okay, let's see the tree diagram. It can be separated when we put the word or the intonation or the comma if it is spoken orally, okay, by saying discuss lie with Dr. Ruth or discuss lie with Dr. Ruth. Okay, but in written form we cannot decide which one is the reason or the purpose of the writer to write this kind of sentences, to write those kind of sentences. In Bahasa Indonesia, we can find another example of structural ambiguity. Yes, I'll write it here. Menurut pemeriksaan dokter Okay. So where we put the intonation or the comma will determine the meaning of the ambiguity. Okay, the first sentence. Menurut pemeriksaan, Dr. Joko sakit lambung. It is the first meaning of this sentence. But another types of intonation will have different meaning of the same sentence structure. For example, menurut pemeriksaan dokter, Joko sakit lambung. Okay, so what's the difference? The first sentence indicate that the name of Dr. Joko has indigestion problem. Okay, but the second sentence, by the assumption or the medical check-up from the doctor, the name of someone whose name is Joko has indigestion problem. Okay, that's the difference of ambiguity. Okay, which can be solved by syntax by using tree diagram if it is written in the written form. But when we listen to the oral form, it will make us easier to determine which one is the purpose of the reader or the speaker. Okay, another type of ambiguity. For example, okay, the boss said John is okay. The first sentence, okay, let's spot the difference. The boss, okay, said John is stupid. Okay. The second sentence, the boss said John is stupid. So who is stupid? Okay. By having the tree diagram in syntax, we can determine the purpose of saying this kind of utterance. Okay. But also it can be solved by listening to the oral form of the utterance. The first sentence, the boss said John is stupid. So who is stupid? The boss, yes, in the first sentence. While in the second sentence, the utterance will sound like this. The boss said John is stupid. So who is stupid? John in the second sentence. Okay, so let's go back to the first structural ambiguity. Okay, this is the form of tree diagram in discuss. I mean, yes, perhaps they are discuss something, yes, but someone lie to doctor. Okay, lie with. When the second sentence discuss lie, it means they discuss about lie, for example, with Dr. Ruth. Okay, so this might be the tree diagram for the first sentence. Discuss lie with Dr. Ruth. Okay, so we have noun phrase here. Okay, and in the noun phrase, there is a post modifier with Dr. Ruth, and the prepositional phrase here, which is started by the word with, belongs to the noun phrase. But in the second sentence, discuss lie, yeah, bracket, inside the bracket, with Dr. Ruth, it is different tree diagram because prepositional phrase here does not belong to lie. It does not modify the word lie. Okay, it is different constituents. So the tree diagram will be like this. The prepositional phrase is separated from noun phrase. Okay, this case can have the same situation as this sentence. I hate the boy with umbrella. Okay. Can you spot the difference? What is the ambiguity from this sentence? Anyone here? I hit the boy with umbrella and I hit the boy with umbrella. What does the ambiguity stand for these sentences? For the first sentence, it means I hit. Yes, Profidin.
I mean, in
Translate
my
itu bahasa Indonesia. Translate itu bahasa Indonesia for the first sentence.
menurut saya di kalimat pertama ini maksudnya saya memukul seorang anak laki-laki dengan payung. Yang
seorang anak laki-laki dipukulnya menggunakan payung gitu ya?
Iya, menggunakan payung.
Kalau yang kedua?
Saya memukul anak laki-laki yang sedang memakai payung.
Nah gitu ya. Oke, paham maksudnya ya. Nah itu ada ambigu. Tapi dengan tree diagram kita bisa membedakan ambiguitasnya. Oke. Ini nanti juga yang akan ada di UAS. Bedakan tree diagram untuk sentence atau kalimat yang mempunyai makna ambigu ini. Ya, I hit the boy by using the umbrella, or I hit the boy who used the umbrella, gitu ya. Jadi ini saya memukul laki-laki, mukul. Nah itu pakai payung, digebugin aku payung. Tapi kalau yang kedua, saya memukul laki-laki yang sedang pakai payung karena lagi hujan, laki-laki itu lagi pakai payung, tapi saya pukul gitu ya. Tapi saya mukulnya mah bisa pakai apa aja, mungkin pakai tangan gitu, ya, atau mungkin pakai yang lain. Gitu. Kalau yang awal mah alat untuk memukulnya itu payung. Nah kurang lebih seperti itu, simpelnya untuk yang tadi. Oke, ya. Any question? Sampai sini ada pertanyaan? Ya. So, happy exploring. The slide will be shared via Ikhlas and you can download it later. And next meeting, yes, in the last half of the semester, we will discuss about syntax, starting from the simple sentence until the complex sentence, which is modified by free modifier or post modifier. Okay, any question before I close today's session? No? Okay, and I hope everyone here can mingle with syntax from the beginning until the end. Okay, if there is no question, I like to close today's session by saying Hamdalah, Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Thank you very much for your presence and cooperation. See you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.